Hey guys, Heidi Easley here, and I have Amanda, and she's going to be sharing with us a little bit about her paint party business and what's going on from there. So, Amanda, I just want to say welcome. Thank you for taking time out and being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. So, let's tell everybody what your business name is, where they can find you first. Let's start with that.
The name of my paint party business is Unstoppable Art, and it's on Facebook, Instagram, and that's it. It's unstoppable.art.wi on both Facebook and Instagram.
Unstoppable.art. What?
WI for Wisconsin.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so you're in Wisconsin. That's where I was born.
Yay!
Okay, so tell us a little bit, if you don't mind, kind of like what life was like before you started doing paint parties and kind of how life is now.
Sure. I started a handmade boutique about, 12 years ago. It was Pretty Turtle Boutique, and I started off doing hair bows and headbands, and then it grew into embroidery, onesies, tutus, custom clothing, sewn, all sorts of things. And I had a retail store, and I did that for about 6 years. And online and the retail store. I live in a pretty small city. It's about 10,000 people. So the store didn't do very well. um, so I took a job at the post office.
You don't have that anymore, do you?
I don't know,
Okay.
but I did start to supplement the income. I did start doing paint parties in the back room of the store because it had a large back room. So I had that was my craft area. So I just cleaned it up enough to make room for having paint parties, and that was probably about 3 years ago, and the store closed 2 years ago. So
Okay.
I took about a year off, and but I just I love paint parties. That was the best part of my store at the end there. And some people had asked it, if I was still doing it, and I was like, well, the store was closed, and never even thought that being mobile was an option. So I have a friend who also owns a Reiki and yoga studio. And so we did a few like kind of guinea pig classes in her little studio just to see if there was still interest in town to do some paint parties, and kind of just grew from there. So now I'm just mobile, and I do kind of wish I had a space sometimes, but I'm enjoying not having the overhead.
Oh yeah. Like when people come to me and they're like, "Oh, what about having a studio?" I'm like, "I am not here to crush anybody's dreams, but I have found that not having the overhead." And that's what I tell people. I'm like, if you're really seriously wanting to do an art studio, that's wonderful, but do like save up like every time you have a month, I say take the mobile paint party money that you made and put back, let's say 2,000 or 3,000 just to cover your overhead costs, whatever it would cost, in your area. And then see
Hmm.
what profit you have and then make the decision, because you just never know.
Right,
Like you never know. And with
right.
mobile, you have the ability to go anywhere. I just have to say, Amanda, you were talking, and then as soon as you started talking about paint parties, your face lit up. Like you started smiling. It was like, it's crazy. So has it been a big change for you to be able to do paint parties? And you seem like you
Yeah, having the store, and having a studio, just to kind of speak to that, it has to be full time. That's not something you can do part time on your own schedule. That's a huge. I work for the post office, so I'm actually on my lunch break right now, and I can do a paint party on a Tuesday night because that's the day I usually get out early, or I can do it on Sunday, because that's the day I'm off, and it just works for me. I can't be tethered to a studio full time, so that's what I really love about being mobile. And paint parties, just, yeah, I love it. I Right now I'm kind of in a funk just with everything that's going on, and painting is about the only thing that kind of gets you out of it.
ate into that. Oh my gosh. So can we talk about that for a minute? Because right now as we are doing this interview, I don't know when you're watching this, but we are all in quarantine. Like, we're all you know, with the coronavirus going on, we're all in our homes. Basically, everybody's working from home, or if they are working, they're, you know, an essential business. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. And so I know I've talked openly about this with Paint Party headquarters. Like I've personally had 2 meltdowns, you know, nobody's counting, but you know, 2 meltdowns already. And I think a lot of people, because of the uncertainty and because of we just don't know. Like we're planners, like we want to know what's going to happen. We got our vacations planned if it's the summer and people are having to cancel. And so can you
Mhm.
speak a little bit about how maybe painting's helping you with that?
It's about the only thing I look forward to right now. Like I said, I work at the post office, so I am an essential worker, which I'm very blessed to still have, you know, my income, and I have a teenage daughter, so I don't have to worry about childcare. So I'm so, so, so lucky in that aspect. But at the same time, it's very frustrating, the people that are coming in to the post office, you know, mailing an Easter card. You know, I'm like, this is not essential, and I'm here, you know, putting my health at risk and my families when I go home to them, you know, because you're not staying home. So that's really, really frustrating to me. And I'm a very naturally like bubbly, happy person. And I just find myself at the end of the day, I'm like angry and just so resentful of my job and the position that I'm in, which is sucks because I love the post office. I love my job. I love the postal service, but it's just it's a love hate, you know. Like I said, I'm very blessed that I still have it, but it's very frustrating that I have to be here.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of people during this time, Amanda, are feeling that almost like self-discovery of like, how do I really
Mhm.
want my life to look, you know, in the next 3 years, 5 years? Because, you know, we know like maybe, you know, I don't know if you've been, you know, kind of toying around with the idea of doing the virtual paint parties or even looking at that, but there's time. Oh, good. You have. So tell us,
I'm so scared. Like this right now is terrifying to me. Like the because every you know, when we have our prayer meetings and things like that, I never, very rarely am I on camera. I just can't. So I have everything ready to do a live. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. And I've really used this time um yeah, like you said, kind of find myself. I'm not an artist by nature. I'm crafty, but I'm kind of like the Jane of all trades, master of none. So, you know, I sew and I, you know, do this, and but I just love painting, bringing people together, more the experience than anything. So I started purchasing patterns and things online, was actually how I started doing it. And now I'm really diving into making my own designs and bettering my artistic skills so that I can be more confident in my, you know, in my teaching ability, because I'm so scared, you know. I'm just like, and it's really helped being in Paint Party headquarters, learning that too. You know, it's not, we're not doing fine art. You know, nobody's there, you know, to hang this masterpiece on their wall. You know, a lot of times they probably just get shoved in a closet. But it's the experience, you know, the ladies coming together after a hard day of work. Um, you know, it's so much fun. And just my favorite part is taking a photo at the end and saying everybody had the same directions, but they all turn out so differently. And I'm not one to hand out paint. I I I'd say you want it pink, you do it pink. You know, I'm not going to say you have to do it exactly the way that the, you know, the sample painting is.
yeah, there's so many ways to do this business, and there's so many like that, you know, with having people do it however you want. You know, there's some people that they want it structured and they want exactly, you know, the colors we're using. I'm more like you, Amanda, where I'm like, it's my paint table is your paint table. Like, let's have some fun, you know. So there are so many different things, but I think you know, like we talked about, you know, you said I'm not really an artist, I'm more crafty. I think that's a huge huge thing that people, they see this and they want to do it, but then they're like, but who am I to do that? I'm not that person.
Mm-hmm.
When really
Absolutely.
you don't have to. I mean, I don't have an art degree, and we're not teaching fine art. Like Amanda said, it's more about bringing people together, whether that is online through a virtual paint party or whether that is in person through a paint party. And Amanda, I just want to say I'm proud of you for getting on the interview, because I know it's terrifying you right now. But we have to do things scared, especially if we want a different result out of life. And I think, having painting to go to in my life has definitely been a saving grace for me too, is when we have those hard days and we're like, we just need to escape, and that's what we use.
Absolutely.
Man, I wish I could just jump over there and give you a hug and we could paint in the back of the post office.
Yeah, that big wall.
Like we could curl up the wall and make that place so happy. So yes, if you're going to your post office right now and it is not essential, please stop. And then also be nice to the people out there working. There's just so many. I was talking to somebody the other day, and it's like, this is bringing out either the best in people or the worst in people. And we have a choice every day. Like God's, mercies are new every day. And we get to wake up and choose how we want to be that day. And sometimes we choose wrong. And sometimes I choose wrong too. But the next day we can choose right again. So what can you kind of tell Amanda and people out there that, because I know you're going to be, I'm challenging you right now, publicly challenging you to do your first Facebook Live. Easter sunrise. So you got today or tomorrow. Can you do it? Will you do it?
I'll try. I'll give it a
You can do it. You can do it. And if you do it, make sure you message me, because I want to know that you did it. Okay, so I can go watch and give you some likes and all that good stuff. So
okay.
what's your biggest holdup with it? Maybe there's some people watching that have that same holdup and fear.
Yeah, it's just that, like, I'm not an artist. Who am I? Who's going to want to watch me paint? Who's going to want to paint with me? It's just a lot of self-doubt.
Okay, so for y'all watching, when you first start doing lives, you really don't want a lot of people watching. Because we're awkward. We're really awkward when we first start this. So remember my video with my bangs? Remember that? Did you watch that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, students, I'm going to teach you some technology. A little, like, I was like, who was I? I shouldn't have been allowed on video. But like, that's the thing. Hardly anybody saw that until recently, because I just posted it to make fun of myself. So, but you really don't want a lot of people watching at the beginning anyway, so that you can, make those mistakes without knowing. And another tip too, Amanda, is you can just point the camera down at your sunrise. That's it. You don't have to see your face at first.
Yeah, I think the other thing is just like the filler conversation in between, the steps and painting. I'm like, what do I talk about? What do I?
Yes, that can get weird too. So yeah, what I would recommend, and this is for everybody too, just have yourself a piece of paper and then just write down. So like you're going to say, like, I'm going to teach you the 3 colors to use to make a simple sunrise for Easter. And then just say, okay, what are your favorite colors? And then just kind of wait while you're painting. And then say, what are 3 colors you could use? And then, just let them, and even if nobody's watching or 3 people are watching, pretend like 1,000 are watching. Because I know that might scare you more, but pretend like more will watch it later, because they're going to come in and see it and probably start typing in stuff during the replay. So then all you could say is maybe like, if you have a Bible verse, you could say, hey, well, I'm painting this simple sunset on a really small canvas, so it just takes you 5 minutes, just say, hey, I just wanted to share my favorite Bible verse, and you could share, or just a quick inspiration about hope, and that's it. And then say, okay, I hope you like that. I hope you try this at home, and I'll see you next time. And then be done. And that's it. You don't have to do like hour-long Facebook Lives like I do.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so short Facebook Live.
Okay.
Tonight.
I'm going to take some notes.
This interview turned into a challenge. So if you're watching this interview, take some notes and do the challenge, okay? So yeah, so just 5 minutes, just mix the three colors and just share your favorite quote or verse. I think you can do that. I know
Okay, I can.
you can. And then
I
you're
can.
gonna tell me, then you're gonna tell me about it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we have Amanda who is she's been doing in-person paint parties. And you've been doing those successfully, and now we're kind of pivoting and transition into this online world. Which she's gonna do the challenge, hopefully. And then what would you say about somebody who's kind of nervous about doing maybe the in-person parties? What could you tell them to help them out?
Just be yourself. Um, that's all you can do, just be yourself, show your passion for what you're doing, show your nerdy side, just be you, and just do it. I know, like, getting back into it was hard for me at first, because the mobile thing just made no sense to me. I'm like, how can I teach that, when I don't have a studio? Where am I going to go? But I've learned that contact is definitely a numbers game. So I send definitely 5, Facebook messages like you tell us. But I also send a lot of emails. I had postcards made that I send out, and I went back to I always refer back probably once a week to the post-it notes, and find somebody new that I can contact. So you're gonna get a lot of no's, and that's, rejection is hard, but it's part of it. And that was one thing, that I'm such an emotional person, that the fear of rejection, or the fear of, being told no, like, I took it so personally, like, well, why don't you want me to paint at your restaurant? Like, why not? But it's not for everybody, and not everybody sees the benefit to it. Some people don't have space for it, you know? So I guess it's just do it. You just have to do your Facebook Live, and be brave.
It's so true, the rejection part. It used to, we're creatives, we're emotional people, like that's how we were built, and so I think we feel it more than a normal person, and especially when we're taking a creative soul and then we're putting them in the business world, and we're trying to mix
It's
that. It can
it's hard.
do this, right? And so
Hmm.
when you tell everyone, Amanda, that rejection is part of it, it's so true. Once you realize that that's part of it and you're going to get rejected, it makes it not hurt as much, I guess.
Yeah, it really does, because I send out so many emails and postcards, and now it's just like the thrill when you do get a response. It's just very, like, you forget about all the other ones you sent out. You just focus on the ones that do respond, because that's who you're looking for. That's who you're meant to be matched up with. That's why, yeah. So just do it. Just do it.
Oh, I know. I love that whenever like I'll send out stuff or whatever, and then somebody will come back, and then it's like a giant church, or and it's like, okay, that takes care of this month's bills, or something so
Hmm.
cool like that. It's just crazy how because paint parties are very lucrative, it's really cool that when you do get the one back, it can make such a big difference. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. I love that, Amanda. Thank you for sharing that. Okay,
Mhm.
any last final thoughts before we go? That maybe that person might
Um,
be a little scared or timid or
I don't know. But just be positive. Just think in advance. Oh, it's snowing.
what?
It just started snowing.
Oh my
It just
God,
started snowing. It's April and it's snowing. I'm sorry.
90 degrees here. What is
Oh, it's snowing. I just looked out the window. I'm so sorry.
no, that is okay. That is crazy.
Yeah, I would say, the best thing to do is practice. If it's a confidence thing, especially, like, for me, it was my artistic ability. I second guessed it. The confidence. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? What am I wear? All the questions is just practice. Practice painting, improve yourself. pick something that you can do confidently and just go at it. Just do it.
Well, yeah, and as you start to do that kind of stuff, the confidence builds and you get better. So
Hmm.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Amanda, it's been so awesome talking to you, and I cannot wait to see your Facebook Live.
In October.
But you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. And tell us last time where they can find you on Facebook so they can go give you a like or a follow.
Unstoppable.art.wi.
Awesome. So y'all go show her some love and let us know in the comments if you're gonna take the challenge and do your first Facebook Live. So, all right, guys, we appreciate you and thank you so much.